Hi there. This is your child's principal, Bonnie Ho, your friend. Good to see you again. And we are completing our 5th week of e-learning, and I'm seeing a lot of wonderful things happening. I'm receiving homework. I get to look at some of the homework, and just every time when I see those homework, it excites me. One example is a 4-year-old girl turned her whole living room into a community because the 4-year-old, they just gone through the learning unit of community, what community helper worker all about, and then what a community should look like, and then they were given the assignment to build their own community. So then I'm seeing her using like constructional paper to build the roads, and then putting signs, and then having cardboard building like buildings and her home. Is really wonderful, and I want to thank the mom or the dad for documenting it, recording the whole process, and then sending the pictures to us. And I'm seeing her so focused in making the mark and doing all that. Another 4-year-old boy learning the same unit, having a big piece of cardboard, and then on that piece of cardboard building cities. And this one is like fantastic. I'm seeing a lot of he used a lot of crayon to color, and then to even make details as trees and stop signs, and you see the whole city. And when he's done and he holding up and then taking a picture, really proud of himself. And I'm proud of my student, our students. That is what I mean by learning, engaging. For a child to be able to come up with work like that, I give a lot of credit to the teacher for teaching, because before they get to that, I know I look at the lesson plan, what they've gone through, how they step by step, day by day, how to teach that. And I give a lot of credit for the mom and dad, because for a 4-year-old, 3-year-old, they cannot get those cardboard, they cannot get all those like material. And then the parents are partnering with us like never before. And that's why we see quality outcome like that. And 3-year-olds, I'm also receiving their homework. It's like just fantastic. Not to talk about the elementary, they are great. Now, with all these good things happening, even though we are limited to our home, but then we are still, nothing could stop us. That's the point. Nothing could stop us, and we're seeing even better engagement, better focus from our student, and I'm very, very happy about that. Aside from that, I know during this period, we grown up, we probably shoulder a lot more, because the kid, they don't know we are protecting them. It is indeed some very trying times. However, I'm here to want to let you know, it is our commitment. It is our commitment to our students, to our parents, to our teachers, to our staff, and to our community, that no matter how tough it might be, Pui Tak Christian School is going to be here for you and for your child now, next fall, and on into the future. That is our commitment. I totally thankful when I see people doing things above and beyond to make positive contribution to help and to make life a little easier for some of the people who are struggling. I always melt my heart when I see that, and I want to be part of it and be part of the positive contribution to this difficult time. I oftentimes tell my students, because when they misbehave and they will blame because this, because of that, and say, stop right there. I always tell them, the situation does not make you who you are. Or I could say, the situation does not make us who we are. The situation only reveals or tells who we are. Think about that, okay? So are we to help, or are we just sit here and wait for someone else to do the work? You might not be in a very favorable position right now, but there's got to be something we can offer and contribute to make life better. Now, I have people are staying home, and they wanted to find things that they could help out the situation. And I am very touched that like more than one individual are making masks, and they asked me, do you need masks for the school? We are preparing for when we come back on campus. So they are, now this person is not someone that, the profession is not sewing, but then really learning how to sew and now how to use a sewing machine and all that. But then they gather together, with moms and dads and daughters and son. They made a whole bunch of masks and donated to the school. And then I just had another person, drove by yesterday and gave me another box of store-bought masks. People are trying their best to contribute and to offer, and I'm very, very thankful. And then I begin to think, what can we do as a community, as Puerto Christian school community, right? So these are just some example of what people are trying to help. Now, here's something that everyone can do. You can do and I can do. You know that I'm fundraising for our family. Some of the family are struggling and not able to come up with tuition. I learned that we are going to have another Giving Tuesday. It's called Giving Tuesday now. Normally, we expect Giving Tuesday by the end of the year, but because of the pandemic, there's so many people who are in need. So then they announced that there's going to be an additional Giving Tuesday, and it's coming very quickly. It's May 5th. So if you are not in a position to give, that's okay. Not necessarily you have to give money, but the school is definitely going to hop onto that platform, and then we'll try our best to fundraise for our families. So I want you to watch for our communication. Look out for our communication. It might be from Facebook, it might be from Instagram, YouTube, email. Whenever you receive things that talks about Giving Tuesday, that talks about Child Champion, I want you to share it with your friends in whatever way you can. It might be through forwarding an email, it might be through a phone call, it might be just share it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever mean. I know that every one of us, we have friends, and not everyone are in a position that they need help. Some of them are looking for a way to help. So then let them know that, hey, here's a ministry that you could help out. So then with that, we could get the finance in and then help everyone else. And it is a commitment, like I said before, no one will be left behind, and I don't want to see anyone being left behind. Now, so some of you have been financially impacted by COVID-19 and are not able to pay tuition. I want you to know that the PTC team, the Puerto Christian School team, looks to God for provision. Because if we don't get the tuition, that means we are jeopardizing the operation of the ministry. I have faith and I have hope that even though we are in difficult situation, but we are not going to lose ground. We are going to look. We're going to look to God for His provision as we focus on what God has tasked us to do. The last thing I want to see is, okay, we're going to just do fundraising and forget about education. No, education is still our main focus. So we will fundraise for the family who cannot afford tuition. But at the same time, we want to focus on what God tasked us to do. That is education. We are to educate, to love, and to care for the students God has entrusted to us. Okay? Thank you. And until we meet again, may the love and the hope of God be with you and your loved ones. Thank you. Bye-bye.